Thank you for joining us for the 2-minute drills, previews, and predictions, Freddie, for a big Mission League game going down this week.
It is big.
Yes, it is big, and that means we could be talking about none other than Bishop Amat. This is a team, Freddie, that is now 5-2 on the season, eclipsing Aram's 3-win prediction
by 2 games. My 4-win prediction, I think.
And on their way. But the key number here is that they're 2-1 in league, and they are hosting Serra, which is 4-3 overall, 3-0 in league. Freddie, we both know there's huge, not only league championship implications on the line, but playoff implications on the line. Tell everyone what needs to happen here, where Amat is exactly as far as playoffs are concerned.
Well, it's actually pretty simple, Aram. There's 18 teams in Division 1. 16 are going to get in. And when you look at them, the majority of all the teams come from the Trinity and the Mission. The Mission, the Trinity, all of those teams are Division 1. In the Mission, 4 of them are Division 1. So Amat, if you look at the last 2 weeks, they've beaten Notre Dame and they've beaten Crespi. Those are the 2 Division 2 teams. The only Division 1 team they've beaten is Loyola. So
they didn't beat Loyola.
They lost to Loyola. So they're 0-1. They have to win one of these next 3 games, in my opinion, to get in the playoffs. And it's pretty simple because the other teams that are in Division 1s from the other leagues are in leagues where they're going to finish first or second. There's no doubt. So those last teams that get in, the 15th and 16th teams, are going to be a team from the Trinity and a team from the Mission. 2 of those Division 1 teams are not going to get in from each league.
So you think 5 in each will get in?
So out of those 4 teams from the Mission League,
but
one
not
of them
if it's
won't get in.
Not if it's Serva, because Amat beat Serva. Serva probably wouldn't go ahead of them if they're both 5th place teams.
Yeah, but there's 2 teams over there that they've beaten. They've got to stay ahead of the last.
Serra as well,
Right. So Bishop Amat has to win one of these next 3 games. They have to beat one of the Division 1 teams. Alamany, coming in that they're playing this week, is probably the toughest of all of them. I think if they get this win on Friday,
this is Serra.
Serra. They're going to be in next week against Alamany. That's the one game I think that they have to win. That's the easiest of the 3 because they finished with Chaminade at home. Chaminade looked really good last week in tearing apart Loyola, a team that beat Bishop Amat. So I think this week is going to be really tough. I think Serra is probably the class of the league. If they can get through that game, Aram, not only does that give them a playoff berth, in my opinion, I think they'd have a good.
So you're saying win this week, even if you lose your next 2 games, you're in. Okay. However, Serra, like you said, they're a loaded team, very talented. Obviously, they lost some key guys like Khalil Tate, that stud quarterback that made all those big plays in the game last year that was played at Serra.
Everyone in this league lost a lot of players. That's why this league as a whole was kind of bad.
Everyone almost, but like Chaminade, of course, but Chaminade's already suffered a loss. So this is an interesting matchup in the sense that Freddie, Bishop Amat at home, as we know, has been a different animal throughout the years when they are an underdog. And they're going to be probably the underdog in this game, but there's a little bit of injury question mark, right? With Blake Archuleta, the quarterback.
Well, here's the whole thing. When you look at Bishop Amat's season as a whole, let's throw away the Mater Dei game. Mater Dei is going to beat people. They're beating everybody like that. You look at the rest of Amat's game.
Serra, St. Paul forfeit. Loyola lost. Notre Dame win by 3.
Notre Dame win by 3. Except for this last game, except for the one last week, all those other games could have gone either way. I mean, they could have all been wins. They could have all been losses. They were that close. And Bishop Amat, you're right. They have a quarterback situation because Blake Archuleta injured his non-throwing shoulder last week, and Jacob Amaro came in. And Amaro's more of a running quarterback. He gets that game. I think they rushed for about 300 yards last week. He scored 2 touchdowns. Archuleta's a sophomore, more of a thrower. He's built that way. I don't know who's going to start this week. Nobody knows, and I'm sure they're going to figure it out in practice. But Archuleta was the starter up until he got injured. I don't know if he's going to be healthy, how far along he's come. But it sounds like they're in pretty good shape no matter which way they go. And they also got a couple of transfers that became eligible. One of those being, I think his name is Kobe Duru, a guy who came over from Dynavar, who I understand had a pretty good game last week. They also had a tight end. So it's some of those guys who come off the sit-out period. So I'm interested to see with those guys and against a Division I now quality team, because let's face it, Crespi isn't nearly what Crestview used to be. They're not even going to make the Division II playoffs, I don't think. You know, Notre Dame, that was a struggle on the road. I think these next 3 games are going to tell you all you need to know about Bishop Amat. And I think they're going to go 1-2 in these 3 games, Aram. I think they're going to lose this week to Serra. I think they're going to beat Alamany. I think they'll probably lose to Chaminade. So I got them going 1-2 in these next 2 games.
So, but at Amat, they're thinking league championship.
Of course,
they're thinking if we can give Serra their first loss, now everyone in the league, you know, that's important has 1 loss in league. Yeah. And now, if that does happen, though, Freddie, if Amat can win this game, the next 2 weeks they do set themselves up to potentially win the league championship. Right. And why that's important is
because you want to stay away from that top 4.
Yes, you do. You don't want to be on the road at Mission Viejo, at Mater Dei, at St. John Bosco, at Corona Centennial in the first round of the playoffs.
Because I think if you win this league title, if you can get out of there and win this league title, even finish 2nd, I think that means that you've got a first round game maybe against a Rancho Cucamonga who will be tough, or even an Upland who's in Division I. Although I think Upland, if they get in, they're going to wind up playing, one of the top 4 seeds too. So it's important. Amat doesn't want to just get in the playoffs if they get there, because I don't think they want to get there and go straight up against a Mission Viejo or a
I think Amat also, they don't want to just get in the playoffs. I think they want to win the league. And there's a legit chance of that if they can just get past Serra. And if you can beat Serra, then obviously you could beat Chaminade. But boy, that's not something to talk about until week 10. This game, Freddie, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, Serra, I know, has athletes that can drive Amat crazy, but, if Amat plays a clean game at home, I really think they're live in this spot. I really think that they could win this game. I'm not going to pick them, though. I'm going to pick Serra with you, but I think this is a close game. What, you think it's close? Do you think Serra wins easy?
Yeah, I think it's close because I don't think any team in this league is super overpowering. I do think Serra is the best team. Just having, we don't see a lot of tapes. I did see one game from earlier in the year, like some of the highlights and a little bit of the game that was they showed on television.
They have athletes.
Yeah, they're good. I think they're going to give Amat all they can handle. I don't know if Amat's ready for them yet. I wouldn't count them out of it, but I like Serra. Not a rout. I like it in a semi-close game, somewhere around 10 points.
Okay, so we both have Serra to go into Kiefer, beat Bishop Amat, and deal the Lancers league championship and playoff hopes. A little bit of a blow. Hopefully,
if they don't win here, Aaron, it does get a little scary because to me, that game next week is a must-win. You don't want to go into the last week against Chaminade, the last week in a must-win situation.
Well, yeah, they'll have Alamany after this, but yeah, you're right. You don't want to go into week 10 needing. But you know what? That wouldn't, the way these kids and the way these leagues and divisions are, that's how they're conditioned. They're ready for that challenge.
And if you actually think about it, it's actually an easier road to the playoffs than it's ever been because of this formula, because 16 of 18 teams get in.
Right.
When you say all they have to do is win one of their next 2 games, that's pretty easy as compared to years past when we said we were trying to figure out how they can finish top 3 out of 7.
These wins over Servite and J. Serra do prove that Bishop Amat is in that 5 to 16 range in this division. I don't know what Long Beach Poly has. I don't know, what Serra has. But you can't tell me Amat doesn't belong somewhere in 7 to 16.
Like J. Serra, you can see them finishing 3rd in the Trinity League.
Right.
Okay. After that, it's going to be Servite. They've got to finish ahead of Servite for the head-to-head to matter.
Or equal to.
Equal to, right.
Right. I think the Trinity, Freddie, is down. After you get past St. John Bosco and Mater Dei, I think that league's down as well. And we know the Mission League is down compared to what it was in recent years. But hey, we'll see what happens here. Get out to Kiefer. This is a very big game. Bishop Amat fans know what to do when the stakes are high. Support that team, and hopefully you guys keep proving Freddie and Aram wrong and get this win on Friday night over Serra. Enjoy the game.